Hey, what's up guys? Brandon here from BigMcLargerHuge Gaming, and today we are going to be talking about a theory that I have on Undertale / Deltarune and how they are connected. If you didn't know, well, you know Undertale. That, if you don't, what have you been doing with your life? No offense, but seriously. Like, that's not gonna work, but still. So anyway, Deltarune is the supposed sequel, spin-off, supposedly it's a sequel / spin-off to Undertale, and, you know, Toby Fox himself has already said, like, oh, it's not connected to Undertale, don't worry, however you left that world, it's still that way. But I do not believe that for 1 second, because I am quite the skeptical person about anything Toby Fox says, because obviously anything he might have said about, what's it called, Undertale, wasn't necessarily true. But, so anyway, he said, however you left that world is exactly how it still is. I, for one, do not believe that. I think there is a set route that was the correct one, and it may surprise you which one could be the correct route. So anyway, let's get into it. So, oh, getting a papyrus thing. But, sorry. Okay. So anyway, I am, frick, what was I gonna say? So anyway, Undertale is my favorite game ever, and Deltarune being a sequel to that, I just had to try it out. Yes. Okay, well anyway, Deltarune being the sequel to Undertale, I just had to try it out. And trying it out, that would be hard because I don't really have a computer, but anyway, I did, and it's exactly what you would want from a sequel to Undertale. There's not gonna be a save point. Nope, there's not. There's never a save point here. Hate the fact there's no save point at this point. Oh, God, because that's exactly where I died. As you can see, I'm not exactly good at this game. But anyway, so I was thinking about it, and what he said makes no sense, because, by the way, there's spoilers for Undertale and Deltarune. So, first of all, I'm going to tell you the route that I think is quite correct, and it's going to surprise you, because I do not believe that the pacifist route is the correct route for the story of Undertale, and this has a lot to do with Gaster. I think the genocide route is the canon route of Undertale, and let me tell you why I think this. So in the end of, by the way, spoilers for Undertale, but I think everybody's played it by now. In the end of the genocide route, you fight Sans, you're good, you go, Flowey kills Asgore, you kill Flowey, and then Shara appears, because you built up enough love, or level of violence, to actually be able to let Shara come out, and so they say, like, hi, I'm Chara, and then they kill you. And so what happens next is the direct start of what I think is Deltarune. because I think Gaster, being shattered across space and time, saw this timeline and realized this was the end. And so, right as Frisk died, he took their soul and brought it out here, where he gave them the illusion of choice. And this illusion was the character creator at the beginning, where then he says, your wonderful creation will now be discarded. No one can choose who they are in this world. And the reason no one can choose who they are in that world is because if Frisk could choose who they are, they might go on a genocidal rampage again. And this is reiterated very strongly throughout Deltarune. Obviously, at the beginning, when Susie, when you can't answer yes or no, because Susie's just like, oh yeah, don't bother answering. In case you haven't figured it out yet, your choices don't matter. And so, I think the world got reset, the Undertale world, but Sans remembers dying. So, Sans goes in his machine to the Deltarune world, in the machine in his lab, and he goes to the Deltarune world, where he works where he just moved in, and Papyrus came with him. Now, this also goes along with the assumption that Papyrus has been on this whole space-time thing due to some dialogue when you're doing a genocide run, but you stop at your boss fight with Papyrus and start sparing everyone past then, because he says, it's good you stopped where you were, I would have had to blast you, and then he stops himself, and obviously, as far as we know, he doesn't have Gaster Blasters or Hypergoners, which is the two big blaster techniques in the Undertale universe so far. And the reason for this is the fact no, okay, I can't. Sorry, I was just testing something out. But anyway, like I said before, and there's also some dialogue. It's very strange how some people act, and there are, their relationships, because all the Undertale characters are in the game, but they're not in the right place, such as Alphys not knowing Undyne, Alphys being a teacher, Undyne being a police officer, yet nothing ever happening in this city, Asgore's being a flower shop owner like he probably should be, and, things like that. Toriel's her mom, Asriel's alive, and off in university. But my point to all this segment is, all these people, and at least Undyne, sure sounds like nothing ever happens bad in the city. So why are you still a police officer? And that goes back to the no one can choose who they are in this world. And also, stuff like this is what makes the Undertale franchise so good so far. And this is only chapter 1. It's like a 4-hour adventure. It's like, I can't wait to see how the rest of the game goes, and because basically in terms of, and some other stuff I want to mention, because I'm kind of talking about Undertale as well, and how it compares here. So basically, yeah, that's what I think, but one more thing before we go on to that. You can't kill anybody in Deltarune. You can't your LV, your level of violence exists, but you cannot raise it, because once you get an enemy to a low enough HP, they just run away. You cannot kill anybody in this game. And that's because you don't have the choice to. No one can choose who they are in this world. Your choices don't matter. Sorry for that disgusting burp, but I'm very sorry for that. But anyway, I think I've reiterated my point enough that Gaster has created this world for Frisk to be in, where they can't choose who they are, so they can't do a genocide run, basically. If you get what I'm saying, I'm basically saying Gaster just saved every timeline ever, but Sans, remembering dying, goes into this new world that Gaster created, and there's also evidence, like, if you name your character Gaster, they just, like, Gaster, like, it resets the game, and just, like, completely starts over. You know, it's very, very, very interesting, and, you know, so, alright, so just some general, comparisons between Undertale and Deltarune. Undertale is, like, the 8-bit first game, and Deltarune is, like, the 16-bit sequel. A much longer adventure, and more mature humor. Like, I guess, would it be, I don't know, I never played Earthbound. Would it be going, Mother to Mother 2? Or something like that? I don't know. Like, really, I don't know. But anyway, the humor is more adult, and the world itself is just darker in general, like, there's less happiness in it, and most of the gags you would expect from Undertale are not really there. It's more, like I said before, it's more darker humor, and things like that make Deltarune just as good as Undertale so far, but in a different way, if you get what I'm saying. It's just like, and you know, Toby Fox is correct, actually, when he said, whatever you wanted, like, this isn't Undertale's world, is what I mean. It's not Undertale's world. So anyway, I guess that wraps it up, for this video, so I guess that's about it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed the video, please leave a like and subscribe, and this is Brandon from BigMcLargerHuge Gaming, signing out. Goodbye!